and welcome back to my channel. I hope you've been having a fabulous week. Today I have arrived at the yard and me and Harry are going to do a little bit of show jump practice, which probably seems really random, seeing as though all I've really been doing recently is dressage. And if you've been watching them vlogs, you'll know that next weekend I have the British Dressage area festivals. But what I haven't told you is that I have also entered for the Ace Arena Showcross at Port Royal the day after the area festivals. My life is always quite hectic and things just always seem to come all at once. So I'm trying to practice for both. So last weekend we were out dressaging. This weekend we're going to be going show jumping. And so I need to go and get some show jump practice in. So next week we have Arena Showcross Hire on the Wednesday, I think. And then on the Saturday it's BD, and then on Sunday it's the Showcross competition. So I also need to squeeze in some flat work as well at some point. But anyway, today's about show jumping and I've just arrived at the yard. So I'm going to go and pull out some jumps. The worst bit about show jumping is having to pull everything out. But anyway, I need to go and do that. And then I'm going to pull Harry in from the field, ride, muck out, and then head home. So let's go do that. Right, so I've set my course up. I've got a nice little course to start off with. Around the arena, we have a little double, and then we have barrels. Ooh, he's not seen the barrels now for quite a few months, so we'll just see what he thinks of them. But yeah, a little course to start off with, and then we'll pop them up. And the aim is just to be able to ride a nice course in a good rhythm, without any ridiculous jumps, stops, or general silliness. Let's go get him. So here's the double, and I'm just on one stride, so if I step over, start here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's the kind of distance that we're going to get in the competition. So although it is quite a long one, hopefully it will give him good practice, ready for competition mode. You go, bye. You ready to go jumping? Dragon would like to go jumping. Where are you, Dragon? I think you've already been ridden today. Right, let's get you in. You might have noticed that Harry has his equilibrium massage pad on, and I've been trying to put this on before a ride just to help warm his back up. So we are tacked up and ready to go. I am chasing the light a little bit because it's taking me a little bit longer than I expected to get ready. So we need to crack on, Harry. Come on. You're a good boy. Come on. So first things first, I took Harry over to the barrels. Harry has two personalities. He is either half asleep and lazy and unreactive, or at the moment, maybe it's the grass, maybe it's his age, maybe it's the fact that he's turning 7 or that he's a bit fitter, but he's got more energy, more about him, and silly spookiness, which is fun. So I knew the barrels would be a bit of an issue. I mean, not a major issue, just something to look at. I knew he'd use it as an opportunity to be silly about it. Anyway, we push on with the warm-up. We have a good trot and a good stretch, thinking about getting him forward, pushing from behind, making sure he's listening to me. We then move on to the canter. And again, just making sure he's forward, making sure he feels rideable and adjustable. Like, can I get him around my leg? Can I push him on? Can I shorten him up? Changing the rein. Just the basics of warming up. So you'll see here, I really like to make sure Harry can bend, because what he does is he sometimes locks on, goes stiff and just like a solid block. You can't really move him around very much. So I spend a lot of time making sure that I can flex him left and right. And oh my god, did it feel different being back in the event saddle. First jump. So you see he just buried himself and then clambered his way out. It wasn't attractive, but to be fair to him, he got over it and he didn't knock it. So you've got to give him credit for that. Oh my god, that sky is just so beautiful. Every time he goes past it, it catches my eye. Anyway, on to jump number 2, and better. He came from a better place before the jump and he landed better. You guys can't see this, but when I was jumping him, every time we landed near them barrels, he spooks. He's like landing as if he wants to turn right. He's trying to get away from the barrel the whole time. You can't really see it while you're watching this, but my god, could you feel it? He was just constantly leaning away from the barrels. So we've trotted over it a few times. We're now coming in canter. So that mistake there is because he's looking at the barrels. So we've got a weird stride coming in, that funny back bend. And then look how big he has to jump to get over it. He's just made life so much more difficult for all of us, and then he spooks away from the barrels at the end. So I pull him up quite sharp. He's landing really forward. He's like landing in a spook because he was just like taking off with me. So I thought, right, we're going to go and have another look at them barrels, and probably we're going to have to go and deal with the issue. So I give him a chance to have one last look and a sniff, and then it's time to go and jump them because they were just causing an issue. And then look, jumps it absolutely fine. So it's just silliness. He's not actually scared because going over the barrels is absolutely fine. And oh my god, that sky. So, barrels are dealt with. This should be fine now. And it's better. He's still landing very strong, as you can see. I'm just landing and feeling like I've got no control. He just lands really heavily on the forehand and then just dives off with you. So yeah, at the moment, at the end of every jump, I'm pulling him up, and as you can see, it's quite hard work. But the joys of working on your own, it was time to go and put my own jumps up, the hardship. And I'm just putting them up to straights now. They've only gone up a hole or two and up into an upright. I hopped on from the fence line. Thank God my pony is well behaved. So straight back into the canter, and it's time to have a go at the double. Now this is a one-strided, which because Harry is quite long and he's very long-strided, sometimes the one-strided jumps can be quite difficult for him. Just because there's no allowance, like when he's got 2 strides, there's a bit more room there to try and organise him in between. Whereas when it's one stride, the second fence comes so quickly. His little face when you suddenly realise the jumps have gone up. That was Harry's face right there. But there we go, he jumps that beautifully. He's got himself into a rhythm now. He is game phase, he knows what we're doing. He's got over himself a little bit, probably burnt off a bit of that excess energy he came into the arena with, and now he's actually working really nice. Good boy. So at this point, I am starting to put my leg on and ride a little bit better. I tend to ride with my legs off and I hold on to him too much, which is something I constantly try to work at with my jumping. But once he gives me that feeling where he's not rushing off with me and that I can trust him to make better decisions, that's when I can relax and let go of him more. So this is quite a nice canter coming in. He gets too close and then clambers out of that one. But to be fair on him, he hasn't overreacted. He just got on with it. So you'll see, I have pulled the bottom pole out just to try and get him to stand off a little bit more from that fence because he did just get a little bit close. Spooky little bugger. So come in a second time. Better. Good. So it looks like he's learnt from his mistakes. He's gone a little bit long there, which is better than getting too deep. I could have had a little bit more impulsion, but we got over it. We didn't knock a pole. And then nice and forward into this one. As you can see, he is really starting to feel himself. He is enjoying the jumping, he's got into a rhythm. And I do think he jumps better once the poles go up a little bit. So I'll also admit that because the lights were going out, the sun was going down, my pivot camera was starting to struggle. So this is why I've resorted to just this standstill camera. So you'll get one angle now. But at this point I am just kind of finishing off. I'm just working on my striding, coming into this fence. And I picked this fence just because it's a bit more interesting with the barrels. He's more likely to be careful and pick himself up and over it. So that's what I'm working on here, is just trying to look at getting a better distance into the fence. So that one was a little bit close, that one was a lot better. A bit close again. And then we finish off with this one. And again, he's back to spooking at the barrels. That is what that is. So from this angle, you can see what I was dealing with. This is what it felt like every time I jumped this jump. So we managed to do it before the lights went out. So that was good. Tell you what, going from a dressage saddle to an event saddle, I can definitely feel the difference. For like the first 5 minutes, I just felt like I was just perched on top of him and I was thinking, I don't think I can jump like this at all. So anyway, I got over that and I jumped and he was a superstar. We had a few hairy moments, but that's how things go. But yeah, I definitely needed that sit in this saddle because, God, yeah, I felt dreadful when I first got on. So I feel a bit more prepared for the weekend now. Oh, I'm absolutely boiling. I mean, look at the state of my hair. I had 2 hair bobbles in this before I set off. That's how fast it must have been going. We just blown straight out. Guys, jumpies. He's so funny. He was so scared of them barrels to go past them. But when it came to jumping them, he was absolutely fine. That's just Harry, innit? Anyway, I'm walking him off and I'm going to go and tack. And it's time to muck out all the glamorous jobs. Harry? Are you tired, Harry? Are you tired? Oh dear me. Right, so I'm going to put a hot water bottle in his back. Just to keep his back happy. Give him a quick sponge off. Rug him up, muck him out. And then we're done, aren't we, Harold? So that's the hot water bottle on his back, and I just periodically move it along a little bit just to make sure his whole back has been heated. I'm then going to give him a wipe over with the NAF body wash, which I love. It smells absolutely gorgeous. And I use hot water and a capful of the NAF body wash just to try and lift the grease and any muck out of his coat and just keep him shiny. I think it also has, it smells a bit tea tree, so it feels like it would be good for any kind of cuts or grazes he might have, just to keep them clean and stop them from getting infected. And it brings them up really shiny. So this is my Fatizo laser, which I use on his back, and I just run my finger along his back, and anywhere that he reacts at all, I just put the laser on. And while I'm doing that, you just saw I just gave him a little bit of a rub over. So it's rug on, get him warm, get him comfortable. He's got his little hay net. Make sure his mane is laying to the right side before I put the neck cover on. And then it's time to muck out. And I'm not showing the whole thing, just the more satisfying part of it, which is the cleaning up job at the end. And ta-da, we have one clean, tidy stable ready for the night. I made it a bit soggy. Come here, Harry. It's like soup. Sorry, it is very soupy. You're drinking it. You're a good boy. He does like it sloppy, don't you? Yummy. Look at that. Yummy. Oh, he's drinking it. An old pear. Lovely. Nice. Oh, bits of pear and everything. And that's it. That's our day done, isn't it, Harry? So I think he jumped really well. I'm happy with him. I'm glad I've had to sit in that saddle because my God, the difference from going from dressage to event saddle wasn't easy. So yeah, I feel a bit more confident now. We jumped about 85-90 centimetres and we've got the 80 and 85 centimetre class on Saturday. So yeah, I think it's just what we needed. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for joining us again. And if you did enjoy it, then please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought and we will see you next time. Bye.